Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land under the fray, and the home of the brave?
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Freedom Network. I'm Gary right here, your host, ready for another fantastic, fun, and exciting show with you. Right here on the Freedom Network. Very happy to be here. Tonight, the studio's buzzing around tonight, folks. A big night here in the studio. We've got 3 on 11 coming back, so they'll be back after the program, right at 8 o'clock after we sign off. They will come in and take over. We haven't seen them here live for quite some time, so that'll be interesting. I'm sure there's a lot of pent-up, whatever it is they want to talk about, man. They must be ready to talk about it, so that's going to be interesting. And we've also, of course, got the Man Cave here in the studio somewhere. The Man Cave show is going to be a brand new show. We're going to learn about it, what it's all about, what its deal is. It seems as though it's going to be really fun from what I see going on around the studio right now, so we should have a really nice time. We'll get to that probably right about halfway through, and we'll try to just run with these guys right through it. I mean, we'll go right up to the 3 on 11 if we can, right? So, in any event, timorgary@gmail.com is how you email in. You can do that at any time. Get your opinion right out there. You've got the phone number right on your screen right there. You can call in if you anything that you want to talk about. We have topics that we're going to talk about, but of course, on the Freedom Network, my allergies today. I don't know. How are people doing with allergies? Not to interrupt myself, but I will. I interrupt everybody. Why not interrupt myself? Allergies are really just going a little crazy with me, and I don't think anyone else is suffering from any allergies, and I don't know why. It's just me. But anyway, if you have any insights, send me an email. Anyway, we got groups on Facebook. Just send an email for a link. That seems to be the easiest way. You know, it's really going to be quite an interesting evening. So let's get right into it. Let's get to politics at 7:30. We'll switch gears and we'll go into the Man Cave and see what that looks like. We'll get him on here. We'll find him. We'll find him. All right, couple of emails. Jane says, Gary, great show. You have some awesome points about some of today's topics. Just a breath of fresh air. Everyone is, as you say, just lining up behind letters in front of names. What about the people these nominees are? Well, that's a great point, Jane. I don't really quite get it, but this is where we are in politics today. Let's see, Len. Len says, Gary, as a liberal viewer, I want to say that you are by far the most palatable conservative I know. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha, Len. No, but really, you have a very consistent look at politics. It does cross over issues. That I respect. You really believe in America, and while we do not agree, I also respect you and like the show. Well, thank you, Len. I'll take any kind of compliment I can get, Len, and glad to have you out there. I know that there's several of you liberals and left wingers, and I know there's some socialists out there as well. What can you do? I love them all. Bring them in, right? Bring them all in. We're going to make y'all Freedom Network fans because at the end of the day, the Freedom Network does not stand for a party. It stands for an ideal, and that ideal is freedom. That ideal is justice. That ideal is the Constitution. That ideal is America and what it's supposed to be. Maybe not what it is, but what it's supposed to be. Thanks, Len. Harry, Gary, you are... So Gary, so you are now not liking Johnson. What are you going to do? Harvey, I don't know what to do, Harvey. I want to sleep well at night, and voting for the two top of the ticket candidates kind of makes me a little disgusted, but I'm going to tell you, I can't vote for Hillary. I just can't do it. And Johnson has just proven to be out in I don't know if it's left field, right field, center field. I think that Johnson might actually be up in the green monster seats. I think that's about how far out of the planet he seems to be because he's all over the place. He's got no real, the policies he has are weak for America. They're not going to help America. I mean, he wants to open the borders, and Obama's bringing in more refugees. And that's okay. We'll cover it. When the refugees are in America, which there are some now, and what's going to happen? One of them is going to commit some terrible crime, and then I'm going to say to all you pro-refugee people that isn't that a shame that you allowed this tragedy to happen, that you supported this tragedy happening. This is a no-brainer, folks. It doesn't really matter why, okay? It doesn't really matter how. What matters is reality, and reality is that whether you think that we made all these terrorists because we started wars that we shouldn't have, whether you think that the wars are wonderful and we should intensify them, whether you think that things are inside jobs, outside, it doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, what we're faced with people that just do bad things. There are people out there that do bad things, and a lot of them want to do bad things to you and to me. And they don't care if you're a Democrat or if you're a Republican. They don't care if you post on Facebook that you understand, that you think A, B, or C. They don't care, okay? So what will happen is they will come, and they will be there, and what are you going to do about it? So as I've said, if you like and support the refugee program that Hillary and Obama are obviously completely in favor of, I think you should be the ones taking these refugees. You take them, bring them to your neighborhoods, put them in your schools. It doesn't seem realistic to me that we can't help these people within their country. If we choose to help them, why don't we help them there? Helping them is not starting a perpetual war for money, because that's what we are doing over there. That's all we seem to have done over there. There's no real success. Folks, we took Europe back. Okay, we defeated Japan. We took back Europe. We fought 2 world wars and restored peace to millions and millions and millions of people. We have the strongest military on the face of the planet. And you're telling me that we can't beat ISIS. You're telling me that we can't take care of some rebels over here. You're telling me that we can't take care of some rebels over there. And I'm telling you, if you believe that, you're completely brainwashed into this machine that America must be at war. For what? What are we at war for? What are we fighting for? I mean, at the end of the day, everyone fleeing Syria that is not a woman or a child should be standing up and fighting for their freedom. It's not up to me to send my son to your country to fix your country when you're not even willing to stay in your country and fight for it. And anybody that thinks that these evil people that exist in the world are not going to mix in with these probably mostly good people, yeah, I'm not saying you turn your back on them. I'm not saying you can't help people. But you don't help people at the expense of America. You just don't do it. All right, let's check in with Elaine here. So I don't know, Harvey. By the way, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to probably, I guess I'm going to vote for Trump. I guess I don't know what I'm going to do. I can't not vote. I just don't. It doesn't sit well with me. I don't like to not vote. I want to make sure that anytime there's a ballot available, that I'm voting. I feel that the people that want to take and limit your freedoms bank on the fact that you won't vote. You have no idea what a small percentage of people in this country actually wield in power. Okay, a very small percent of the people really decide the election because you've got brainwashed over here and you've got brainwashed over here. And then you've got a whole group that doesn't vote at all. So, who's left? It's that little undecided, that little sway that goes. You're talking probably, I don't know, just a few million people can sway an election. It makes absolutely positively no sense. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know. Does it make any sense to you? What do you think? What would you do? I don't know. Elaine, Gary, I'm a senior citizen and I've been watching your show for some time. I just wanted to tell you that I am the woman that said hello to you in the store the other day at Shaw's. Thanks for taking a few minutes to talk to me. I'm using my daughter's email, so if you respond, I am not going to get it. Unless you read it on the show, then I'll know you got it. Would you read it on the show? Thanks, Gary. Please do not go anywhere. We love you. We love the show, and we all watch you. Well, thank you, Elaine. Very happy that you are out there. And, of course, I'll read your email anytime you want. And you can always call right up, so don't you worry about that either. Okay? Don't worry about that. You can pick up the phone and call anytime you want, or feel free to email me. And very nice woman, by the way. Had a good, 10-minute, I would say, Elaine, conversation, which quickly turned to politics. It went from the selection of steaks to politics in minutes. Funny. All right, let's get into a little bit of media bias. Let's talk about that for a few minutes. It's out there, wildly out of control, all over the place. The media they don't even try anymore, folks. They don't even try not to be biased. They're not even trying to let you, or just to hide from you what it is that they're doing. They're not doing that anymore. They're just out there in complete, I don't give a you-know-what mode. This is the crap we're going to force down your throat. So let me put it to you this way. David Duke, right? We all know who David Duke is, right? David Duke, state politician, tosses support to Donald Trump. The media goes absolutely wild and ballistic. Can you believe that Donald Trump is supporting? Can you believe? I mean, that David Duke is supporting Donald Trump? What a terrible thing. This must mean that Trump is a terrible person, too. Okay. Where was the media coverage when Hillary was praising U.S. Senator Robert Byrd? Where was the media when she called him the heart and soul of the Senate? That's about what you heard. Crickets. Where were they on that story? In fact, one cannot control who endorses them. You can't. You appeal to people. Look, you should see some of the emails that I've got. And as a matter of fact, I was going to try to find, I just can't do it live now. I'll find it for you next week. There are whack jobs, okay, out there. I got a couple that email me in, and I tell them it's just not the kind of stuff that I put on the air. I mean, we're talking crazy stuff. Just crazy stuff, just insulting stuff, racist stuff like that. Does that mean that I'm a racist? Is that what that means? That's what the media would have me believe. You know, you can't control who endorses you when you're out in the public if you're doing something like that, but you certainly can control who you get in bed with. And Hillary jumped right in bed with Robert Byrd. I mean, absolutely, positively, hugging, kissing. You are my mentor. You are the heart and soul of the Senate. And he's a grand poobah, whatever they call them, the exalted leader. I don't know what the hell they call him. It was actually, obviously, not here now, of the KKK, of his chapter of the KKK. He founded it. He founded his chapter of the KKK and went on to lead it for many, many years, elected by Democrats in your lifetime. I'm probably pretty sure. I know we have a few of you younger viewers out there, and my younger viewers, we always try to tell you to get some information and get it on your own. A few of you have sent me beautiful emails about how you've actually read the Constitution, which is amazing. That's always the most humbling, and that I'll tell you something, I keep those emails, and I've read them several times to myself. this is why the Freedom Network exists, to educate people on freedom and our brand of freedom and what it is. And that's our Constitution. It's all right in there. But I think for the most part, if you are in that age group, I'm going to challenge you to go on your computer and Google his name. Google him. Go learn about him. And then tell me why the media doesn't have a problem. Why aren't we hearing about that all the time? Why is this not wall-to-wall coverage? That she really was just enamored and respected and thought this person was so great. And he's a bigot, hater of black people, and I'm sure everybody else that doesn't look just like him. I mean, the KKK double standard. I mean, there's just so, now here I found this. What website was this on? I think I got this from, I can't remember now, and I didn't jot it on my notes. I will go back when I am off the air. If you want, there is a ton of stuff on this site about media bias. Send me an email. I'll send you the link. I can't tell you the website because I didn't put it on my paper and I copied and pasted it. I'm sorry. But I can find out because I'll go back in my browser and I'll find it. Anyway, they had some really interesting things. Like on the issue of the KKK and the two stories, like here's Trent Lott and Robert Byrd. Even though the Democrat Party is the party from which the KKK was born, and that's a little slighted too, because it was born out of Southern Democrats, but the party itself, I don't know if they were openly or publicly or even privately really endorsing and funding and founding the KKK. Just because they were Democrats, we got to keep balance here, folks. I don't know if I agree with that. I'd have to really look into it. But the media constantly burdens Republicans with the epithet of being Klan members. In '02, GOP Senator leader Trent Lott from Mississippi attended a retirement party of longtime Senator Strom Thurmond. Famed for his anti-civil rights activism, sad time in America, wasn't it? At the party, Lott praised his career and said that if the rest of the country had followed our lead, we wouldn't have all these problems over all these years either. And, he knew it was a poor taste of words, and they crucified. I mean, they put this was the biggest news. This was big. Big. As a matter of fact, he had to step down. So that cost him his powerful position. Now, it says here, some may think that is a good, that someone with a racist past would be turned out of power and that the old media did its job properly. But if defeating racism was really the media's goal, why did it never attack Robert Byrd, who became the longest-serving senator in history? After all, he was an actual member of the KKK, the 30s and the 40s, and served as a recruiter for the hate group as well. The media never bothered to really question him on his membership until 2005, only a few years before his death. Destroy Trent Lott, Republican. Give Robert Byrd a pass, Democrat. I mean, this is issue after issue after issue that you can see this. How about the Tea Party? Remember what happened with the Tea Party? Leftist media really went after the Tea Party big time. Any manner of lies has been attributed and ascribed to the Tea Party, that they're racist, that they're homophobes, that they're haters. Some even say they're terrorists. All sorts of things. In one incident, this is the one I looked up, the media assigned Obama as, they had these Obama as Hitler signs. And the media assigned them as supported and as held by the Tea Party event to the Tea Party members themselves. And in fact, the Obama Hitler posters actually belong to extremist LaRouche organization, a group that the Tea Party certainly opposes. I'm sure you all know who Lyndon LaRouche is, a complete screwball, socialist left-winger that parades around as a right-winger, and I don't even know what he is. I know he's been in prison. I know he's a bigot. I know he's a jerk. This is what I know about him. Gitmo. How about Guantanamo Bay? The media went out of its way to portray the terror detainee facilitary. I mean, this was a big story, right? I mean, unbelievable what happened. Bush is terrible. He's got this Gitmo. We have to, it's racist, it's terrible. Obama ran on his campaign, promising that he's going to close the facility a year after he gets to the White House. Of course, he broke that because it's still open. And also, the detainees returning upon release from the facility are reattacking. They're going back to the fight. And it's still open. It's open right now. Obama ran on that twice, and the media gushed over him. They gushed over, oh, he's going to close Gitmo. And then he didn't. And they don't care. Why? The letter D is next to his name. If the letter D is next to your name, you're okay. You can do whatever the hell you want. Doesn't matter. You don't even have to follow the law. You can do whatever you want. The letter R is next to your name. Oh, you better toe that line. You better be 100% perfect. Let's see. Fast and Furious. There's a great one. Oh, look at me. I'm going to fall in my chair. My goodness. Show is so good, I'm falling off the chair. You know what it is? This is a broken chair. Oh, no, it isn't. I'm back. Okay. You know, I like to lean back sometimes. Fast and Furious. The media, even to now, has not spent a whole lot of time covering Fast and Furious. This was Obama's murderous program that supplied guns to the Mexican narco-terrorists, a program that has killed hundreds of Mexican citizens, several U.S. law enforcement agents, and I guess the LA Times has been covering this. And I think CBS, it said Cheryl Atkinson had covered it. But months went by, and then the media kind of got into it a little bit. And they didn't really cover the story. They reported it, and they buried it because that's what they do. They bury things. Remember the body counts before Bush was in office? Do you remember all the body counts? I mean, it was a constant barrage every day of body counts. I mean, it was unbelievable. A story about every American that died in the war, and on the news, they actually had bumper music made because they were doing this so often. They had bumper music made. Bumper music, if you don't know, is the music that you get coming in and out of a break or something like that, or going into a segment. They had this one. They talked about it. I can see it right here. It was on all stations, all media. They were all obsessed with it. Then Obama got in office, and all of a sudden, they just simply stopped. Not a word. It doesn't matter. I guess the military only matters. And military lives only matter when there's a Republican in office. Nobody should die. There should be no conflict. And if there is, you're wrong. Now, the same conflict continues. Obama takes over. Nothing. No more body counts. They report if people died. There was a crash. There was this. There was an explosion, whatever it was. They report it, and they move on. No bumper music. No segment. No segments. No coffins. Nobody cares, right? It doesn't matter because it's okay if people die. It's okay if we fight endless stupid wars with a Democrat. We just can't do that with a Republican. Can't do it. It's unreal. How about Occupy Wall Street? This was a great example of media bias. You know, the media fell in love with this whole group right from the beginning. You know, there was violence, there were crime galore type of situations going on, but they didn't report it. Unreported has been the 400 crimes that were committed by occupiers, and the many thousands of small laws like the local ordinances and those kind of things that they broke. They don't care about that. At the Occupy events, we've seen, let's see, there's been charges and convictions, unreported that I could see. I mean, very difficult to find them. You can Google and find them, but you got to really look. But we had rape, we had theft, we had property destruction, drug abuse. There was gun violence. I'm surprised I didn't pick up on that. And there was, I believe, one death that occurred at the protest. But the media didn't care. They didn't cover any of that. They didn't cover it. I mean, this is what they do. You know, they didn't extend any kindness to the Tea Party. They didn't extend any kindness to, because if you're conservative, you are the enemy, folks. You are the absolute enemy. Another aspect I put in here of the Occupy protests ignored by the media is the long list of un-American groups that are helping fund and support them. Like the American Nazi Party supports and gives money to Occupy Wall Street. The KKK does. The Communist Party does. The Socialist Party does. Union organizations do. It's amazing, and the media ignores it all. It's not a story. It doesn't matter. But what about the Tea Party, a conservative group? That mattered. That mattered a whole lot, didn't it? Didn't that matter a lot? Unbelievable. All right, Tom emailing in. People forget the Republicans did more for blacks than Democrats. During the 50s, Eisenhower integrated the schools in Little Rock. The governor of Arkansas, I can't read, I got a glare. Oh, Farbus, it was Bill Clinton's hero. Yes, Tom. Yes. And I'll tell you something else. They had a civil rights bill before the Democrats did as well, and Kennedy and his ilk squashed it. It was rewritten and rebranded. You don't have to believe it or not, because it's the truth. Whether you choose to ignore it or acknowledge it is a far better question. But you're 100% right, Tom. You're 100% right. The hate that is in that party, in deep in the roots of that party, Tom's 100% right. Thanks for the email. Ever notice a Republican gets in trouble, it's listed on the paper or in the news as Gary, the Republican senator from Massachusetts. But if it's a Democrat, it simply just says, when they get in trouble, because they do too, you just don't hear it, it says Gary, the senator from Mass. Not Gary, the Democrat senator from Mass, but Gary from Mass. That's how they report it. Again, you don't have to believe it or not because it's a fact. You won't hear the word Democrat usually. That's not 100%. Remember, these are all odds type of thing. Usually, if they're going to say it, it's going to be on a newscast. It'll be in the second or third paragraph. If it's in the newspaper, you could even get to below the fold. The media is not media, folks. It's just propaganda. That's all it is. It's propaganda. All right, let's talk about not standing for the anthem, for the pledge, and all that kind of stuff. Let's talk about that real quick, and then we'll see what the man cave is doing here. We'll find him and rustle him in here. All right, to me, these things, right? These things like the anthem, the Pledge of Allegiance, to me, and I'm talking about me, so it's my opinion. It doesn't have to be yours. But these things, to me, mean what they represent, not what they physically are. What do they represent? They represent freedom. They represent equality. They represent our Constitution. That's what they represent. That's what they mean. They're not about what America is in a certain time or in a certain place in history. They have greater meaning. They have bigger meaning. And they have far more consistent meaning. They're symbols. That's all they are. The flag is a symbol. There's a flag for everything, right? Everybody's got a flag. Flag for sports teams, for towns. We have flags for countries. We have flags for everything. And it's okay to be proud of what you are and who you are. So, this is what really gets me going, all right? The reality is that, and I'm looking at a picture of these folks, it's unbelievable. The reality is that these folks should be grabbing a Constitution. They should be grabbing a flag. They should wrap it around themselves, and they should demand, not ask for, demand the freedoms and the rights that they're guaranteed to have by what those things represent. Sitting down, that's crap. That's not going to change anything. I could say it offends me because, you know, they sit down and because of what it means to me, and it means my Constitution, my freedom, and equality for everyone, and that means something to me. See, I believe in that. So it does offend me when you burn the flag, because to me it's like you're saying the hell with those documents. There's certainly far more legs, if you will, than the past 10 or 20 or 30 or 50 or 80 years. They mean something. They stand for something. It's just my opinion. And it does. I could say that. I can say that, right? Because I can say what I want. I'm on my own show. But wait a minute. I want to keep this in reality. Because should someone be forced to stand for the pledge or just forced to sing the national anthem? I can't support that. No way. I can't support it, and here's why. People have the freedom to say as they wish. We have freedom of speech. Freedom of speech may not be applicable on a football field that somebody else owns. What do I mean by that? Freedom of speech and freedom of expression does not give you the right to a platform. It gives you the right to speak. Okay? You don't have a right to call this show and say what you want. That's not your right. It's my show. I can cut you off. I've not infringed on your rights. That's just a fact. Now, we don't do that here. We let everybody's opinions come through when they want to have them come through. But I don't have to. That's just reality. All right? People have the freedom to do and say as they wish. But, you know, it's interesting. So can a place, say you, I know it puts me at a loss of words because I'm on such both sides of this issue, and it's very difficult for me to come down just on one side. Can a place say that you have to stand if you're in here? Yeah, they probably can. And they can also say that they're not going to play the national anthem and no flags are allowed. They could do that too. It's their right. It's their building. It's their business. How about this, right? How about this? How about we stop whining about being offended all the time, whether it's the left or the right? Everybody's offended. And because, you know, why can we just do that? All right? Can we stop being offended by everything? You know, I mean, let's face it. It's far, 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 that much, too much value is put on what other people think about what someone else does. It's not your business in many cases what somebody else does. So should he stand? Look, if the rules of the game and the job say that he should stand and he signed a contract, then you know what? Stand the hell up. All right? Because no such rule exists, then I really don't care what you do. It may aggravate the hell out of me that you do it. But am I going to say that you shouldn't be able to do it? Am I going to say that it should be against the law? That everybody must line up and honor the symbol? No, this is the United States of America. You don't have to do anything like that. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do like that. But it really aggravates me. It does aggravate me that he does it. And it also aggravates me that so many people think that because they're offended by it, that it shouldn't happen. Well, too bad if you're offended. I'm sorry. Oh, I don't know. You know, I've heard from a lot of vets on this issue. I've had some personal conversations with some vets on this issue, and I'm going to tell you, they've helped me form my opinion a little bit because they are okay if they don't want to stand. They really don't care. They really don't care. And I'm talking vets. I talked to 2 World War II vets, a Vietnam vet, and a Gulf War vet, and a recent vet that was in Afghanistan. They really don't care. As a matter of fact, one of them said, you know, we fought for freedom. One of them said we fought Nazis. You had to salute their flag. You had to salute Hitler. You had to do it. If you didn't do it, you could be sent away. He said, that's what we fought against. Why would I oppose someone doing it here? And he said, does it aggravate him? He said, yeah, it aggravates me. But I'm not going to think that it's the worst thing in the world. So I agree with him. But I will say that if we're so disgusting, if America's so terrible and it's so awful and there's just nothing here, you know, I would say, why don't you protest by not participating in our capitalist society? Why don't you stop taking the millions of dollars that you make all the time? Why don't you do that to protest the wage inequality and the fact that there's so many poor people? Why don't you give all your money away? They don't put, this is Obama. What's Obama's slogan? Skin in the game. Put some skin in the game. No, these people have no skin in the game. They hate America. They make millions off Americans. And they play a game. That's what they do. They play a game. And everybody's up in arms. And everybody's saying, I hate him. I can't stand him. And the other ones are saying he's wonderful and he's great. Folks, why are you so led? Why do you feel that you need leaders? You do not need leaders, folks. You lead yourself. I told you last week, when you elect people, you're electing stewards of your government. You are not electing people to lead you anywhere. You don't have to go anywhere. Okay? There's just no need. All right. It's after 7:30. I've yelled and screamed enough. Let me look around for the man cave. Are we just going to bring these guys in? I think we're going to just bring these guys in. I don't even think we're going to take a break. Why waste the time? I want to meet these guys. Look at.
Oh, we're here.
You're here. Oh, they're here. Oh, boy. Here we go.
We brought treats.
Oh, and they brought treats. What do we got?
How we doing, Gary?
Oh, look at this.
How's it
We'll
going,
pull up some chairs, guys. Come on in. let me welcome you to the Freedom Network. Welcome to the Freedom
Thank you.
Network.
How's it going,
Get some
Gary?
cheers. Welcome to the Freedom Network. We'll get y'all in here. You got some nice amber here, I see. Well, cheers to you, and cheers to you, and cheers to you. Welcome to the Freedom Network, and welcome to television, guys.
Well, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Well, who are you guys?
Well, let's start off. We got Matt down the end. Matt, Mike. I'm Dickie V. We have a new show coming up. Just to kind of tell you how things started off, we just like most normal average Joes that you find, I have a basement in my house. It was filled with clutter, lots of toys. I cleaned it up one day. I went to work, came home the next day, and what do you know? It was a mess again the next day. I said, this is the last time I'm going to do this. I said, this is my room. I took it over. I got rid of all the toys. We brought them upstairs to the kids' room. Built myself a nice 8-foot pine bar.
Nice.
We bought a 55-inch TV.
Whoa.
And we said, this is our space. Me and my buddies here were sitting around, watching the game,
Sure.
saying, hey, we're talking about some pretty crazy stuff. We could have a show just on the stuff we talk about.
Yes.
And kind of left it alone. A year later, we said the same thing. We said, it's time we do something about it.
A little procrastination.
Other than that, I mean, I know your platform being a lot of politics and things like that. I really can't tell you a lot about my plan. I can just tell you it's going to be great.
Okay.
It's going to be better than most other shows.
Oh, wow.
I'm not going to tell you about the plan. I'm just
Okay.
going to tell you that it's going to be great.
It's going to be great. You
Yes.
sound like Donald Trump.
It's going to be great.
Gary,
Yeah.
what we're gonna do is
We
we're
have
gonna
Trump in
make
studio.
community television great again.
You are.
That's what we're gonna do.
You're going to
here.
make it great
That's
again.
what we're gonna do here on NCTV.
This is what you're trying to try to do.
That's what we're going to try
But
to
there's
do.
no plan. Well, there might be a plan.
Oh, there's a plan.
There's a plan.
There is a
There's a
plan.
plan.
There's a
Now, do
plan.
you
But
guys
it's not
have
telling
like
you the plan.
advisors?
We
Like,
might
who's helping
hire
you with
some
this?
people. We
Yeah.
may listen to them.
Okay.
We may not listen to them.
Okay.
We're not going to release that
Well, what
yet.
if they have a good plan?
But we don't want other shows to know what our plan is.
Would you combine your plan with someone else's plan?
It's possible that I might take parts of somebody else's plan if I like those parts.
Okay. Okay.
You know, but Mike, why don't you tell us a little bit more about what our show
Go ahead.
is
Okay,
about?
so right now we have a Facebook page, we have a Twitter, we even have a Snapchat for anyone who has Snapchat out there. So we've been posting a lot. So it's a very interactive show.
All right.
You can message us on Facebook, you can tweet us. Whatever they want to talk about, we're willing to talk about. We'll talk about our favorite food, like pizza.
I love food. I love pizza.
He likes pizza.
Okay.
Like-
Where do you like pizza from?
Well, Harry's is a good
Harry's?
spot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Local
Harry's
spot,
is good.
Nice and convenient.
Yeah, like
Harry's is good.
favorite beer that we like.
Okay.
love
Just
beer.
yeah, current events.
Current events.
And even sports. So
Sports,
like,
sure.
Love
especially
sports.
especially the Patriots, and
Yeah.
of course we got to talk about Jimmy
Big week.
G.
Jimmy
Oh,
G?
yeah.
Jimmy G.
And when does this all start? When does this happen?
We start September 29th, Thursday.
There's
Live
Thursday?
show.
Live show,
Live
right?
show.
Live show. And
8 p.m.
it'll be on right here.
Right here.
right
Yep.
here on NCTV.
Right here.
Yep.
So you'll be able to catch it locally. You'll be able to get it online too. They'll send some links out there.
Yeah, we have the live show where people will get to call in and comment on some of the stuff we're talking about, some current events. We have some skits each week that we'll cover.
Yeah.
Which are some of the skits we have.
Oh, we have what is it? Embarrassing things to buy online. We even have our own competition. The
We're not
bank-
going to say whether we bought those things or not, but we are going to touch base on a lot of crazy stuff you can buy on the internet.
Yeah, we have a bunch of competition between Matt, myself, and Dickie V over here.
That's
We're gonna-
big in the man cave. We compete against each other all the time. We're talking
do?
Oh,
we're
yeah.
talking thumb wrestling to trivia
Thumb wrestling?
to trivia. Oh yeah,
course.
we
It-
compete.
It's pretty intense.
If
I've been
there's
training
something
for months.
Yeah.
You have.
For months.
My thumbs are pretty
Now,
good.
are you guys rehearsing at all? Are you doing any kind of rehearsals?
Well, no.
No. You're just gonna come out and wing it.
Oh yeah,
Bring some amber-colored fluid. Of
that's right.
Right. Bring out some and just see where it takes you.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some general planning that we have.
Okay.
There are some things that we've tried. I mean, we could talk about. I mean, I guess I could tell them some of the stuff that, the reason why we wanted to come on your show.
Yeah, sure. You wanted to find all the crazy people, right? Starting.
No,
I'm the leader of the crazies.
Well, we knew you handled the issues.
I do handle the issues. I handle them. I'm not afraid of them.
One of the things that came up in the man cave several times that we just keep bouncing back off each other, and we can't seem to figure out what this answer. What
Sounds pretty
what's
pressing.
going. I mean, November's coming up.
It
Big
is.
month.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
By then, a lot of these answers are going to be answered in November.
Yes.
Correct.
Absolutely.
So, until then, I haven't been able to decipher a straight answer on. I mean, I think I have a picture that I sent in. If we could put it up at some point, we just want to know, with November coming up, what is going on with all this pumpkin spice?
You know, I'm with you.
It's
Pumpkin
everywhere.
spice.
I'm with you. I mean,
everywhere.
we talk about the issues of the day, folks, on the Freedom Network, and how this escaped us. I'm kind of flabbergasted. I mean, why does everything have to, first of all, be pumpkin in late August? First of all, why?
Right? They're rushing it along.
Do you like pumpkin?
Listen.
I don't really. I mean, it's okay.
I'm not.
It's
a huge,
all right.
I'm a huge fan. I mean, I like a pumpkin pie, but it's
You do like a
overboard.
pumpkin.
Yeah, but
pie.
I've
It's
seen
overboard.
pumpkin spice Pop Tarts,
Yes.
pumpkin spice Jello.
Yes.
We know lattes and coffee. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I've seen pumpkin spice trail mix. Okay. I even saw pumpkin spice deodorant.
No, you.
And let me tell you, it gave me a rash for 2 weeks.
It's out of control, Gary.
Out
It's
of control, Gary.
You know, you guys think I'm crazy? I'm not the crazy one. All right. What we did is we brought in more crazy to make me look more sane. That's what we've done. All right. Let me ask you this question: did you see on Facebook the Budweiser pumpkin?
I did see that.
You did
Yeah,
see that?
Yes, I did.
Yes. Now, my wife posted it, and of course, everybody immediately, Bud sucks, or this and that, and all that kind of stuff. And what's funny is that it's not real. Of course, there is no Bud pumpkin, So I'll try to get you a picture of it, so you guys can promote this. It could be like your chief sponsor of the show, a product that no one can buy. I think that would be a great sponsor for you guys.
I think that would be great.
So you're going to talk current events. You're going to talk about sports. You're going to talk about beer and maybe some wines,
Sure.
cigars,
Whatever
man
they wanna
stuff,
talk
right?
about.
Man
Whatever they wanna
stuff.
talk about.
Right?
That's right.
Okay. Now, women obviously are welcome to watch this program.
Yeah, I
are
mean-
they allowed in?
They are, and I think that one of the segments we talked about, I mean, just our viewers at home, I mean, they can get an inside look at what the men are talking about in the man cave, and I think
They
that's
can.
a public service to the women.
I think it could
Something
be
we can offer to them.
I think it could be a public service to the men. Because once they realize what it is that we talk about, they're not going to want to come in. They don't have any interest in what we're talking about. They think there's something interesting going on.
It's
right?
really not interesting.
Nothing interesting. Which is why I think you guys will really get your work cut out for you. Because, to get people to get into that stuff, in all sincerity, I think the idea for the show is fantastic. I think it'll be a huge hit. I think it'll be a big hit because I think that, politics, we do it to death. Then, you go on your local radio and your local TV, you're either talking politics, money, lawyers, travel, all this service kind of stuff, right? And they do it. It's all over the radio. It's on our local Worcester station. It's even on BZ sometimes. You can hear these info-ish commercials. What they do is they sell the time, and people come in and they promote their stuff. And I think that to have something that's real, that's tangible, I think you guys will be a hit. I think you'll be a big hit. I think people really like it.
I mean, we definitely expect to have some failures.
That's okay.
You know what, Gary?
I expect that every week, but they work out. I mean, we get literally, since we've been here, we've had hundreds and hundreds of emails. Yes.
Gary, you a few moments ago you just alluded to infomercials.
Yes.
Dickie V, why don't you tell them about?
Well, we've had some failures. We like to test some things out.
Okay.
And the season's getting colder. We're really getting concerned about that. Because those of you that are from this area, Blackstone Valley area, you notice the temperature in the river drops like you'd expect with the climate.
I take your word for it.
And it gets cold.
We're on the third attempt, and no matter what we try to do, we cannot get our boat made of screen to stay afloat with even the most flex seal.
You can't?
Nope.
It does not work. It's
Now, could
impossible.
we go on location? Because we could go
can.
on location.
There is some
See,
hidden
I say
footage.
we. I'm coming. I'm
There
coming
is
with
some-
you. I'm already in. I'm already hooked on the man cave.
There is some hidden footage
Yeah.
of our attempts. At first, we thought we would just show our achievements, but maybe there is some benefits in showing the failures.
Now, that commercial is so good. Too. It really is. I can just see the guy. You know, it's one of those.
And is it not something you talk about in the man cave?
Yes,
it absolutely
is. It absolutely is. It really and truly is. And
But
a
does
lot
it
of things
work?
can be talked about. You know, I mean, my friends and I have talked about like just words that nobody uses, and when you get into these crazy conversations about, you know, where did this word come from? Where did this phrase come from? One of my favorites is when people say this is the best thing since sliced bread, and I think to myself, literally, right? What's so great about sliced bread? I mean, you know, you could say like the automobile. It was the greatest thing since sliced bread. Really? Like sliced bread is not that great.
Well, Matt likes
It's-
sliced bread.
Yeah, but
I
it's
love
not
sliced
that
bread.
difficult to get to. Is my point.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like, oh my God, they invented bread that's sliced already. Yet we go to the moon. That's a great accomplishment. Slicing bread isn't a great accomplishment.
Well, if it wasn't invented, chances are somebody else would have thought of. You know, it would have been thought of.
Sure, imagine that, the $1 million idea. Cut the bread for somebody else. I mean, how long has the knife been around before they sliced bread? That's a good question, I think, that you guys could look into. I mean, I have a list of things I'm going to have to get to the man cave and see if you guys can get to the bottom of something.
I've seen Mike eat a sandwich without slicing the bread.
Without slicing the bread, you just kind of dig out a little hollow spot.
It was disaster,
What
Gary.
movie was that?
It
It was Rodney Dangerfield.
Back to School. Is
It
Rodney
was Back
Dangerfield.
to School. Yes, yes. And what did you do? What have you done? You can tell us.
It's okay. You're in safe company.
Oh man,
Yes, yeah.
it was just it was a mess, an absolute mess.
Mm.
It was not one of my finest moments.
You know, I have high hopes. I think this show could really bring a lot of insight to a lot of people. So, you guys talk any politics on the Man Cave?
I mean, of course. I mean, especially with the season coming up, I think it would
Sure.
come up. Although I don't know if we go as deep as you.
Yes.
But you know, we will discuss some politics. We will discuss, you know, a lot of food. We plan to have a kind of undercover rating system where we will send people into different restaurants around the community and get different choice things off their menu. You know, we do fall naturally a lot into sports. You know, I'm sure you stayed up late this week.
I mean, look, this is a great time. It's always been great. I mean, you know, I've been in New England. I've lived in the general Boston area, I guess you could say, my whole life. I didn't move here from anywhere. And I've always liked my teams. Now, I don't know every player. I don't know everybody. I'm a busy guy. I don't really know everybody and what's going on. But I know the game. I know the rules, and I thoroughly enjoy my teams. What do you guys think about people that live in New England, let's say, that don't like the Patriots? I mean, I have a friend of mine that's like that, and in some instances, we won't let him over the house if there's a certain game's on.
We have that covered. Yeah, we actually
do?
have some scheduled phone conversations
Oh,
with
good.
some, you know, people that live Los Angeles, people that live in Ohio.
Sure.
I even have someone that lives in Connecticut, and anyone that lives in Connecticut knows there's a line in Connecticut.
Yes, there is.
And you are New York or you are Boston.
And what about Rhode Island?
And
Why does Rhode Island fly New York sometimes?
you know, I don't.
I mean,
They get to pick and choose what they want. I think.
If you're far enough down, it's just across the water.
Yeah.
maybe I've always thought that Rhode Island, as far as sports goes, I think they're just so jaded.
Why does everyone hate us? Is your question?
Yeah, well,
Because they
I was
hate us.
thinking that. You know, why do they? I know why they hate us, because nobody likes the guy that wins, right?
No,
It doesn't matter.
exactly.
Nobody likes the guy that wins. What'd you think of Garoppolo?
We talked about this today.
Did you?
It was impressive. I think.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it was. Everyone was expecting the Cardinals to walk all over us.
What was the spread, Matt, for the Cardinals game? 9.
I think I'm pretty sure.
I'm not sure what the
9
exact
points.
spread
9
was.
points.
Underdog.
But
Not the gambling, you know.
What I'm worried about
Spread.
now is now that they were the underdog last week. Now going into this week's game with the Dolphins, they're now favored.
who we've always struggled against.
Yes.
Always struggle
Oh.
against them.
Remember Squish?
And
the
they
Fish?
played the Seahawks
You
tough.
remember.
I
Oh,
know
yeah,
they
they-
lost,
They barely lost.
But-
last second, but
so I don't know. Everyone's all high.
Did you see
I
Goodell?
put my prediction out on Facebook
Okay.
for last week.
You did.
I called it first that they were going to get destroyed. I was wrong.
You know, I think that we may see a lot of that coming up on the Man Cave, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun to see. I like when people make predictions. I try not to, because I, like you know, a prediction's a 50-50 shot. So you think you've got a good shot because we're optimists as people. So we say, look, it's either going to be heads or tails. I have a good chance. No, you don't. You don't have a good
No.
chance. It's 50-50 is not a great chance. If you're in a casino, 50-50 is godlike, right? But let's just say in life, a 50-50 shot ain't so good.
What about no one's talking about the Red Sox at all?
Oh.
You don't even hear them.
Well, it's like they went up in the first place, and then that was it. They were off the news.
They're in first place now. What?
If you had been told like before the season started that David Price isn't going to be your top pitcher, Clay Buchholz is going to get demoted to the bullpen, and Ryan Hannigan, who constantly looks like he has a sniffly nose, is going to be your starting catcher. Like, come on!
I would not expect
He
him
does
to be
always
first
look like he
place.
has a runny nose.
Yeah.
That's odd.
Yeah. How does he with the thing? And well,
Yeah.
Like, just digs in, just.
I hope they don't share a catcher's mask.
Ugh.
Oh,
bad.
that would be
That'd be
something.
gross.
Wouldn't that be something? Yeah.
But
You
they're in
know-
first place.
Yeah.
2 games.
Yeah.
No one talks about them. All you hear is that their coach is terrible, which might be the case.
But we're in first.
But they're in first place. 81 wins, I think, with like 18 games remaining.
If it ain't
That could be a
broke, right?
90-win season.
Yeah, it could be. Could be.
Perfect
I don't know.
example of you touching upon New England fans being crazy and
Yeah.
you know rough. The fans are rough. Let's be real. The
Yeah.
fans are rough.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Pretty rough.
And I heard you talking as far as the kneeling things.
Yeah.
I mean, we've discussed this, and I think we have a mutual opinion. We agree with that. You know, the forum can dictate whether you're allowed to or not because that's your job, and if you have to do what your job says to
Yeah.
do. Otherwise, you won't have that job. But
Sure.
you know, it is a freedom where I don't agree with it. But if that's your choice, you are a free country. You can do it if you want, but in return, we have the freedom to call you a jerk
Yes.
for doing that.
Absolutely.
You're not really a jerk, Gary.
Well.
No,
you know.
not you. We like
All right,
you.
I've been called worse. If I can get out of here just being a jerk, I'll be out of the game, right? To me, that issue is just you know, if it were me and someone was if I felt my rights were violated, the last thing I'd do would be to run away from things that represent freedom. It doesn't make any sense to me. It just seems like somebody wants to make a statement, get their fame. Now, you guys know more about this guy, right? But I hear he's not so good, right? So, you know, I mean, maybe that's got something to do with it. But now, did you see in the high school? What school was that?
Yeah, it was in Massachusetts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
The kid, and did he, I think he got suspended.
He got suspended. Yeah, he got suspended.
I mean,
Which is it's a tough situation.
to me, it's a tough situation. In a school, I don't really know that I mean, kids are taught to be conformists from day one. Do we really want, I mean, don't we want open-minded, open-thinking people? Now, you guys were in school probably a lot more recently than I was, or you. Did they still do the pledge in school, right?
They do.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, my youngest just started kindergarten, and he came home saying he did the Pledge of Allegiance, and he practiced it, and so they still do it as early as the kindergarten.
Yeah, I waver on this a little bit because, to be honest with you, I don't want to have this. You must salute. You must. I'm not into that. I'm not a big, huge statist like that. But you guys can dissect that. Now, you guys going to be doing any? I don't want to give anything really away. You know what I mean? I know
Sure.
you guys are trying to, be surprising here. But are we going on location anywhere? We got any skits or any fun
we got-
stuff? Do we got things happening?
We've done a few. We've done a few of our challenge that we've pre-recorded at some locations. I know.
Sweet.
The one we did last week.
It was kicking field goals. You
Yeah.
know, see the 3 of us who would kick the most field goals. And
Well, you watch the football game,
Yeah.
and the kicker misses the extra point,
Yeah.
anyone can make that, right? That's your first,
right?
Right.
You yell, I could do that.
So we tested that.
Can you? Can
And,
you really?
yeah. Well, we won't give it
well,
away.
we found out who can't do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's
I'm
say
not going to say who
someone here
can't.
can't do it.
But
Okay.
someone here cannot kick
Can
an extra
anyone
point.
do it?
We got a couple.
Someone,
a couple? Got a
someone is
couple.
capable of 71%
Okay.
good. You know.
Good.
And what's the time that the man kids? I got about a minute and 15
Yeah.
seconds before Troy goes crazy and starts knocking on the window in there. So, what are the times? It's going to be on
Yeah, we're going to be on 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock
Yeah, live show.
live
Thursdays.
Yeah,
Thursday.
Thursday, starting the 29th, right here, this channel. Or online.
And we got a
Right.
special treat for the first episode. I
do.
actually tweeted at David Ortiz, and he's actually going to make an appearance on our
No,
first
he's
show.
not. He didn't
he's
tweet.
not
He
coming
tweeted
on
me
the show.
back,
Did not
Dickie,
tweet
Dickie
that.
V. He
He
tweeted
did
me
not tweet
back.
that.
You can't tell
You
people
can't.
that.
Yeah, that's not true. Not true.
Not true.
Not true.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to
It's
tune
true.
in.
It's
We'll,
good.
we'll have to tune in and check it out. Listen,
All right, we'll let you go. We're gonna
Yeah,
go.
we'll let you guys.
We'll see
All
you
right,
guys.
enjoy
Thanks,
show.
thanks
Thanks
for
for
the
having
drinks.
us. Later, Gary.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
The man cave invadeth, the man
Yeah.
cave leaveth. Have a wonderful show, guys. Wonderful
We're on
show.
a tight budget.
Thank you very much. They are. He took it. He's drinking it. All right, folks. Thank you for joining us. It's the Freedom Network. We really appreciate you being out there. We want to have some fun. You want to have a lot of fun. Check out the Man Cave. 3 on 11 is coming up in literally minutes, and they're live in studio, back from the hiatus of the summer. I'm Gary, and I'll see you next time.